It's your life.
Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Vasudeva Sudam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. With the abundant blessings of our Acharya Swamiji, we are proceeding with the study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita with special emphasis on the commentary, the Bhashyam of Sri Adi Shankara Bhagavad-pada. We are in chapter 16, Daivasura Sampat Vibhaga Yogaha. The division, the distinction between Daiva Sampat and Asura Sampat, divine wealth and demonic wealth. Daiva Sampat was described at the beginning in a few slokas, and Asuriya Sampat was described very briefly. Then Bhagavan jumped to the fruit of both these Sampats. Daivi Sampat will lead to moksha. Asuriya Sampat will lead to greater and greater bondage. Then he went on to go back to Asuriya Sampat, describing the various facets of Asuriya Sampat. We stopped with sloka number 17 last time, where we are still going into the various facets of Asuriya Sampat. Now, sloka 18.
Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodham cha samshritaha mamatma paradeheshu pradvishantobhyasuyakaha.
What these Asuriya Sampat people do? Samshritaha, they are always attached to 5 qualities he is describing. Ahankaram, balam, darpam, kamam, krodham. They are attached to ahankara, the feeling of I, the superiority of I with reference to all others. Shankara says very nicely, Vidyamanaihi avidyamanaishcha gunaihi atmani adhyaropitaihi. He may have some qualities, he may not have some qualities, avidyamanaishcha. Whatever qualities he has, whatever qualities he may not have, he will assume that he has all of them. Vishishtam atmanam aham yati manyate saha ahankaraha. So he thinks that he is superior, he is a special creature. Vishishtam. That is ahankara. Avidyakyaha kashtatamaha. The most difficult, the most painful, the most evil is avidya. And that avidya is this ahankara. Sarva doshanam moolam sarvanartha pravrittinam cha. This is the root of all issues, all anarthas, all evils. Sarva doshanam moolam. All deficiencies, all faults. Next is balam. Balam is by itself is not a wrong thing, but the context in which it is used makes it wrong. That Shankara explains. Balam is strength. Nothing wrong with being strong, but what you are using that strength for. Paradhibhava nimittam kamaraga anvidham. You will use it only for disgracing somebody, dishonoring somebody, and out of desire and attachment. This dishonoring others will be out of desire and attachment, that they are not honoring you properly, they are not giving you the proper importance, etc., etc. Balam. Darpam. Darpa we have seen in detail earlier. दर्पो नाम यस्य उद्भवे धर्मम् अतिक्रामति इति सः अयम् अन्तःकरणाश्रयः दोषविशेषः अंतःकरण आश्रय दोष विशेष a special fault which is residing in the mind, that is darpa. What is that special fault? Yasya udbhave, as soon as it rises in the mind, dharmam atikramati, he will violate all dharmas. That is darpa, that is ostentation. He will do all religious things but with ostentation. Kamam, Striyadi Vishayam, desire with reference to women, etc., wealth, etc. Krodham, Anishta Vishayam, Etan, Anyanja Mahataha Dosham Samshritaha. Anger, that leads to many other evils. Anger leads to many other evils. Anyanja Mahataha Dosham Samshritaha. Then, having resorted to all these evil qualities, what do? Mam Atma Paradeheshu Pradvishantaha. Mam Atma Paradeheshu. Mam Bhagavan Pradvishantaha. They hate Bhagavan. They hate Bhagavan. Why they hate Bhagavan? Because Bhagavan wants you to follow the Shastras and you don't want to follow the Shastras, so they hate Bhagavan. Atma Paradeheshu. Bhagavan who is inside his own body, Atma. Paradeheshu, inside others' bodies. Bhagavan resides in everyone's body. Samam bhuteshu, sarveshu bhuteshu, tishtantam, jagadishwaram. We have seen before. So, Bhagavan who resides in his own body, Bhagavan who resides in all others' body, he hates. Hating means what? Buddhi karma sakshi bhutam mam pradvishantaha. Because he is the witness of the way your intellect works and the way you act. So that I don't want any witness for all my evil actions. Machasana ativartitvam pradveshaha. How do they express their hate? They will never abide by the rules laid down by Bhagavan. Machasana ativartitvam pradveshaha. Always violating the instructions of Bhagavan is pradveshaha, pradvishantaha. Abhyasuyakaha. Sanmargasthanam guneshu asahamanaha. Asuya is jealousy as well as criticism. Both meanings have been attributed to asuya. So abhyasuyakaha means those who are following the righteous path, the virtuous path, they cannot tolerate them. These asuri people cannot tolerate them. Sanmargasthanam guneshu asahamanam. That is, they will try to put obstacles in their way, they will try to harm them. That is their nature. We have picked up this Niti Shatakam Shoka. Udbhasita akhila khalasya vishankhalasya pragyata vistratanayadama karma vrittehe daivadavapta vibhavasya gunadvishosya nichasya gocharagataihi sukhamapyate kaihi. The evil people, the fallen people, Nicha, their nature is like this. Like what? Their nature is such that if anyone comes across them, Gocharagatehi, if anybody comes across their vision, they can never remain happy. Sukham apyate kaihi. If you cross the path of this Nicha, this fallen person, there is no question of your being happy. Now why? Udbhasita achala khalasya. Because this fallen man, this evil man, akhila khalasya, whichever evil people are there known to him in that locality, he brightens them. Udbhasita, he encourages them. Brightens means he encourages, he promotes. Vishrinkhalasya, he has himself crossed all shastras. That is Vishrinkhalasya. Bhrashtasya, Shithilasya. Pragyata Vistritanagadhama Karma Vritte. Pragyata. It is born along with him. This nature is born with him. Vistrita, and whatever was born with him, he has expanded it further. What is that which he has expanded? Adhama karma vritte. The tendency to indulge in the lowest karmas, the vilest karmas, that is born nature for him. And instead of overcoming his born nature, he has vistrita, he has expanded it. There is another version called pragjata vismrita. If you take that version, vismrita nija means he has forgotten his atma, nija is atma. Having forgotten his atma, he has encouraged, promoted his natural inborn adhama karma vritti. Daiva davapta vibhavasya. He is having some wealth which Bhagavan has granted him because of his past karma, destiny, daivat. Avapta vibhavasya, some vibhava, some wealth, some glory he has got. Now he is very arrogant because of that. Gunad dvishosya, he will always hate virtues. So such people, if you cross their path, how can you ever attain happiness? So be away from them. That is the idea. उद्भासिताखिलखलस्य विशृङ्खलस्य प्राज्ञातविस्तृतनिगाधमकर्मवृत्तेः दैवादवाप्तविभवस्य गुणद्वशोऽस्य नीचस्य गोचरगतैः सुखमाप्यते कैः अहङ्कारम् बलम् दर्पम् कामम् क्रोधम् च संश्रिताः मामात्मपरदेहेषु प्रद्विषन्तोऽभ्यसूयकाः
तानहं द्विषतः क्रूरान् संसारेषु नराधमान् क्षिपाम्यजस्रमशुभान् आसुरीष्वेव योनिषु
तान् अहं द्विषतः क्रूरान् संसारेषु नराधमान्. The maximum criticism he is heaping against such people, the maximum abuse, the maximum criticism. He says he is using three adjectives for describing them. Dvishataha kruran samsareshu naradham. Dvishataha sanmarga pratipaksha bhutan sadhudveshanaha, because they are always in the nature of hating. Hating whom? Sanmarga pratipaksha bhutan sadhudveshanaha. Those virtuous people who follow the virtuous path as defined in Shastras, they cannot tolerate them. They will hate them. Dushataha. Kruran, very cruel by nature. Samsareshu naradhama. Aneka naraka samsara margeshu naradham. Samsareshu is a plural. So he says, not only the world around you, even the worlds other than earth, other than Bhumi, Naraka, Sarga, etc. If you compare all, if you take all of them together, this fellow is the worst of them, Nara Adhama. So such people, Kshipami Ajastram Ashubhan Asureshve Vayonishu. One more adjective he is having, Ashubhan, very inauspicious. Their very look is inauspicious, as we have seen in the last Niti Shatakam Shloka. If you come across their path, you will lose all your peace of mind. That is Ashubha. Even their vision is Ashubha, inauspicious. So such people, what Bhagavan does with them? Ajastram Asurishu eva yonishu Kshipami. Ajastram, always. I always Kshipami. I throw them. Throw them where? Asurishu eva yonishu. Always. I throw them into Asura yonis, Asura births. Asura births is defined by Shankara. Asureshveva krura karma prayasu vyaghra simmadi yonishu. Krura karma prayasu. Always given to cruel nature, like tiger, lion, etc. Vyaghra simmadi yonishu. Kshipami, I throw them. So he gave an opportunity by giving human birth. You misused it, so you are now eligible to go only as a tiger or a lion because you are cruel by nature. That is what he says. So, Niti Satakam Shloka. So again, this thought is similar to what Niti Satakam Shloka we saw last time, but a little more detailed. व्यालं बालमृणालतन्त्रिभिरसौ रोद्धुं समुजृम्भते क्षेत्तुं वज्रमणि शिरीषकुसुमप्रान्तेन सन्नह्यते माधुर्यं मधुबिन्दुना रचयितुं क्षाराम्बुधैरीहते नेतुं वाञ्छति यः कलान् प्रतिसतां सूक्तैः सुधास्यन्दिभिः. That is, the poet wants us, don't try to reform them. That is the message he is giving. These people are deserving of compassion. They have fallen on the evil path, so let us go and help them. Don't do that. Because if you do that, what will happen? He is explaining. Netum vanchati yakhalan. If you want to lead them the right way, those evil people, satam pathi, in the right path. How do you want to bring them over to the right path? Suktaihi sudhasyandibihi. By talking to them with nectarine words, Amrita words, Sudhasyandabi, by talking to them very sweetly about Shastras and what they should do, what they should not do, etc., what will you achieve? Vyalam bala mrana latantu viraso rodham samrugyam bhate. Elephant, which is difficult to control. Vyalam is snake as well as elephant. Here it should be taken as elephant. You want to control the elephant, Saurodham Samujrambhate. You start controlling the elephant. What do you use for controlling the elephant? You use iron chain, isn't it? We have seen. They put it around their legs, around their body, etc. Now here what this man is doing, Balam Ranalatantu. So lotus stem. He took a piece of lotus stem and he wanted to control the elephant. कोमल पद्म तंतुभिः क्षेत्तुं वज्रमणिं शिरीष कुसुम प्रान्तेन सन्नह्यति. Vajramaniim क्षेत्तुं. Vajramani is diamond. Diamond is the hardest substance known to us. Everybody knows that. So that hardest diamond he wants to break with what? Shirisha kusuma prantena. Shirisha is a flower. The edge of that flower, there is a stem, the edge of that stem. He wants to use that stem and then he wants to break them. Third example he is giving. Madhuryam madhubinduna rachayatam ksharam budheri hate. Ksharam budhi is Lavana Samudra, salt ocean. Salt ocean, he wants to make it sweet. How? Madhubinduna, one drop of honey. He will add one drop of honey to the ocean of salt water, and he expects it to become madhuryam. He wants to achieve sweetness. Just as all these three are impossible, you cannot reform the evil people. He is giving a suggestion to us to be careful with them. Kanaham dushatak kruran samsareshu naradhaman tripam yajastramashubam asurishvevayonishu.
आसुरीं योनिमापन्नाः मूढा जन्मनि जन्मनि मामप्राप्यैव कौन्तेय ततो यान्त्यधमां गतिम्.
Asurim yonim apannaha, having attained the asura birth like tiger, lion, etc. These mudha means those who have lost discrimination, those who have lost their viveka, they are called mudha. These avivekas, these fools, these deluded people, mudha actually means deluded people. These deluded people, Janmani Janmani, birth after birth. Mam aprabhya eva, they will never attain me. There is no question of their attaining me. He Kaunteya, he son of Kunti, tato yanti adhamam gatim, having, this is the worst part, having attained Asuri birth like tiger, lion, etc., birth after birth, maybe 100 births of tiger, 100 births of lion, let us say, for example. They never attain me in all those births naturally because there is no intellect in all those births to attain Bhagavan. Human being is the only person who has the intellect. So they will never attain me. Okay, will they continue in the same tiger lane endlessly? No. Tato yanti adhamam gatim. They will go to even lower births. Adhamam gatim. Even lower births. What is that lower birth? Shankarananda Saraswati explains that. Asurayonyapekshaya adhamam. Compared to Asurayoni, it is worse. What is that? Nikrishtam vriksha pashanadi rupam gatim. Like a tree, like a stone. These are the births they will have. Matprapti yogyam manavam deham aprapyaiva. Mam aprapyaiva, he said, isn't it? They will never attain me. That has been explained by Shankarananda Saraswati in a slightly different way, very nicely. Not only they don't attain me, they don't attain human birth, which will lead them towards me. Matprapti yogyam manavam deham aprapya eva. Tamo bahulasveva yonishu. These births are marked by extreme presence of tamoguna. Vyagra, Simha, etc., tiger, lion, etc., and further, tree, stone, etc., full of tamogunas. Asurim yonimapanna mudha janmani janmani mam aprapyaiva taunteya tato yantadhamam gatim.
त्रिविधं नरकस्येदं द्वारं नाशनमात्मनः कामः क्रोधस्तथा लोभः तस्मादेतत्त्रयं त्यजेत्.
As a prelude to this shloka, Shankara explains, Sarvasyaha asuryaha sampadaha sankshepaha ayam uchyate. Now, having described Asuri Sampat in detail, he wants to sum up. This is the summing up of the Asuri Sampat. Yasmin Trividhe Sarva Asuri Sampat Bhedaha Anantopi Antarbhavati. Asuri Sampat can never be described in full. It is Ananta, endless. Even then, it can be compartmentalized into three compartments that is being described in this shloka. Yat pariharena parihritashya bhavati yat moolam sarvasya anarthasya tat etat uchyate. If you avoid these three, you have avoided all asuri wealth. If you cultivate them, they will lead you to worse and worse situations. What are those three? Trividham narakasyedam dvaram nashanam atmanaha. Idam narakasya dvaram. This naraka, which naraka, this asuri, yoni, etc., which he has described, that birth itself he is describing as naraka, not the naraka in the naraka world. He is not talking about them. Idam narakasya. Dvaram, the entry to this naraka, Trividham, it is three ways. There are three types of three gates to this naraka. Atmanaha nashanam. If you enter into that gate, you can forget about your Atma. You will destroy your Atma. There is no question of understanding or having any truck with your Atma. Yadvaram pravishanneva nashyati Atma. As soon as you enter into that gate, your Atma will be destroyed. Kasmaichit purusharthaya yogyo na bhavati. You will never become eligible for any purushartha, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. That is why it is called Dwaram Nashanam Atman. What are those three? Kama, Krodha, Tatha, Lobha. Kama, Krodha, Lobha. Desire, anger, and greed. These have been described in great detail in so many shlokas. So Shankara is not dwelling on this. Kamaha, Krodha, Tatha, Lobha. Desire, anger, and greed. This is the gateways, three gateways of Naraka, which will destroy your Atma. Tasmat, for this reason, because they are gateways of Naraka, because they will destroy the Atma, therefore, Etat Trayam Tejet, please abandon these three. Straight instruction Bhagavan gives. He is not mincing words, he is not putting so many classes, etc., etc. Straightforward instruction. Tasmat etat trayam jajet. Therefore, set aside these three. Abandon these three. Kama, Krodha, and Lobha. Straight instruction here. Now, Lobha, greed. We have many examples in our Itihasas and Puranas. Ravana, example which comes to my mind quickly. Similarly, Vali in the same Ramayana, Vali. Then if you go to Mahabharata, Duryodhana, they are all epicenters of Lobha, greed. Now, Kama and Krodha, of course, we have plenty of examples in our Puranas. But one example stands out as freedom from Kama and Krodha. Kama and Krodha, indulging in them, many, many examples are. But one unique example where Kama and Krodha were natural and they were avoided. By whom? By Draupadi. Draupadi lost her young Pandava sons, 5 Pandava sons, young boys. Ashwatthama came and killed them, thinking that he is killing the Pandavas. This is described in Mahabharata after the war. After the war was over, Ashwatthama was extremely angry that Duryodhana was killed and he was vanquished, etc., etc. And he wanted to take revenge in this manner. He wanted to straight away go and kill the Pandavas. So he went to their home and saw them sleeping. During the sleep, look at the crime. During the sleep, he went and killed them, thinking they were Pandavas, but they were Pandava children. Then naturally, Draupadi became extremely angry. She told Arjuna, go and get that Ashwatthama's head. Then Krishna went with him because he didn't want Ashwatthama to be killed. Ashwatthama cannot be killed. He is one of the Chiranjeevis. That is a boon which has been given to him because of his extraordinary scholarship. Look at that, extraordinary scholarship. Look at the Achara. And so Krishna went with him and then made Arjuna bring him as a prisoner. He tied him with ropes and brought him and stood him before Draupadi. Draupadi did not know till then that it was Ashwatthama who had committed the crime. Somebody has committed the crime, bring his head. That was the instruction. As soon as she saw Ashwatthama, she was extremely nonplussed, surprised. How this happened? How this man can do? He is Drona's son of our Guru. Guru's son is like our Guru. Guru Patni is like our mother. This is our Shastra. Guru's son is like our Guru. So immediately she quoted that Shastra. Because he is Guru's son, take him away from my eyesight. I don't want to see him anymore. Don't do anything to him. Leave him. This was the instruction. Who will do that? That is the height to which Draupadi rose, leaving aside Kama and Krodha. So Mahabharata gives a beautiful instruction in this context. Yaksharastu bhaven mrityuhu triaksharam brahma shashvatam mameti cha bhaven mrityuhu na mameti cha shashvatam. There are two letters, a two-letter word, which if you take up, you will go to Mrityu. You will go to Samsara again and again. Daksharam Brahma Shashvatam. If you take to a three-letter word, you will attain Brahma, Parabrahmam. You will not come back at all. What is the two-letter word and what is the three-letter word? Mameti cha bhaven mrityuhu is mama, two letters. Mine, this is mine, this is mine. That attachment to what you have. It may be human beings, it may be property, it may be anything. That attachment, mine, mine, mine. Mamakara. Mameti cha bhaven mrityuhu. If you adopt that path, yes, you will attain mrityu, you will come back. Na mameti cha shashvatam. Na mama, that is three letters. The first was two letters, mama. Now, na mama. It is not mine. If you take that attitude, Shashvatam, Brahma Shashvatam, the eternal Brahman you will reach. That is why when we offer ahutis and Agni, we say Agnayadan Namama. Idam Agnaye. This ahuti is for Agni. Indra Yadan Namama. This ahuti is for Indra. Namama. We are adding that. That means I am not expecting any fruit. I have given this ahuti to Indra. That ahuti is no more mine. That ghee or that whatever ahuti you are giving is no more mine. It belongs to Indra. I am not expecting any fruit out of that. Namama. That is why always we are adding that namama. That is what Mahabharata is teaching us. Now, I wish to go to one Subhashitam. This Subhashitam is from Ramayana Sundarakanda, uttered by Sita. In great frustration, she is telling Hanuma, Dhanyaste Purusha Vyaghra Ye Buddhya Kopamusthitam Nirundhanti Mahatparam Deeptamagnimivambhasa. This sloka is also attributed to Hanuman after he has burned Lanka. After he has burnt Lanka, he feels, Arere, what a fool I am. I have burnt Lanka. Maybe Ashokavanam also has been subject to this fire. And what will happen to Sita? That is his worry now. So he is cursing himself. That is the sloka. Dhanyaste Purusha Vyaghra Ye Buddhya Kopamuthitam. It is also attributed to Sita when she is talking to him. Te dhanyaha ye buddhya kopam utthitam. Utthitam kopam. The anger which has arisen in your mind, buddhya nirundhanti. By using your intellect, you stop that anger. You stop that anger. If you do that, dhanyaha, they are indeed fortunate, such people. Mahatparam deeptam agnim iva ambhasa. A fire which has spread all over the place, and if you try to control it with water, that is what these people do, these Mahatmas. Before it grows further and further, it has the capability of growing further and further, Mahatpara. But these people very quickly get water and extinguish that fire. That is the fire of anger. Trividham narakasyedam swaram nasanamaatmanah कामक्रोध तथा लोभस्तास्मादेतत्त्रयं त्यजेत्.
एतैर्विमुक्तः कौन्तेय तमोद्वारैस्त्रिभिर्नरः आचरत्यात्मनः श्रेयः ततो याति परां गतिम्.
So he is going to close this discussion. So he is giving a advice. Hey Kaunteya, hey son of Kunti, Etair Vimuktaha, if you release yourself from these three, Kama, Krodha and Lobha, desire, anger and greed, if you release Vimuktaha, if you release yourself from these three, if you see that these three never come to you, Tamodvaraihi tribihi naraha, that man who releases himself with these three tribihi. Tamodvaraihi, the gateway to tamas, gateway to naraka, gateway to misery. What will happen to him if you release yourself? Atmanaha shreyaha acharati. He ensures the best for himself. Shreyaha means spiritual advancement. We have seen it before. Shreyas and prayers. Material advancement is prayers. Spiritual advancement is Shreyas. We have seen before. So he is talking about Shreyas. Atmanaha Shreyaha Acharati. He brings about spiritual advancement. No doubt about it. Okay, what will happen if you bring about spiritual advancement? Tato vayati parangatim tataha. After that, after you have advanced spiritually, you will go to the supreme state. Parangatim yati. That means he will attain Bhagavan, he will attain Parabrahman. Now, this has been explained in a very beautiful way where Shankara he says, Atmanaha Shreyaha Acharati. He is explaining that Yat Pratibaddaha Purvam na Achachara Tat Apagamat Acharati. There was something in him which was stopping him from following this path. What was that something? These three, Kama, Krodha and Lobha. They were with him. So one day he became very wise. He threw away all these three. That is how Shankara explains it nicely. Purvam na achachara. He was not following the right path earlier. Tatu apagamati acharati. Having dropped all these three, now he is on the right path. So after going on the right path, he will take some time, isn't it? That is why Bhagavan uses the word tataha. After that means after you have matured in that path. एतैर्विमुक्तः कौन्तेय तमोद्वारैस्त्रिभिर्नरः आचरत्यात्मनः श्रेयः ततो याति परां गतिम्.
यशास्त्रविधिमुत्सृज्य वर्तते कामकारतः न स सिद्धिमवाप्नोति न सुखं न परां गतिम्.
Now, सर्वस्य एतस्य आसुरी सम्पत् परिवर्तनस्य श्रेय आचरणस्य शास्त्रं कारणं. Shankara explains in the prelude to this shloka. For abandoning all asuri sampat, particularly those three, kama, krodha and lobha, for abandoning them, shreya acharanasya, for following the path of spiritual advancement, who will help us? Shastram karanam. Only you follow the path of Shastra. You don't have to do anything else. You follow the path of Shastra, you get rid of kama, krodha and lobha, you will advance on the spiritual path. Shastra pramanatu ubhayam shakyam kartum. If you follow Shastra authority, if you follow the authority of Shastra, you will achieve both. Ubhayam shakyam kartum. What both? Asuri sampat parivartanam, abandoning the Asuri sampat, Shreya acharana, going on, adopting the spiritual path. Both will be possible if you follow the Shastra. That is what this shloka explained to us. Yes, Shastra vidhim vartate kamakaratah. Shastra vidhim utsrijya, abandoning the provisions of the Shastra, the instructions of the Shastra, Shastra vidhi, utsrijya. Utsarjanam is throwing out. If you throw out the injunctions of the Shastras, if you do that, that person, kamakarataha vartate. He is guided only by kama. Instead of throwing out kama, he threw out Shastra Vidhi and he adopted kama. That is his problem. He should have thrown out kama, he adopted kama. He should have adopted Shastra Vidhi, he threw out Shastra Vidhi. Shastra Vidhi mutrujya kamakarataha vartate, living a desire-ridden life. what will happen to him? Nasa siddhim avapnoti. Saha siddhim na avapnoti. He will never attain siddhi. Siddhi means what? Fulfillment. Fulfillment of all these purushartha, dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Final purushartha is moksha. Will he ever attain? Never. Sorry, okay, he is not attaining those purusharthas, but is he attaining happiness? Na sukham, he will not get happiness. He may think that he has got happiness, but that will be short-lived. Ultimately, he will suffer like anything. Na sukham, na param gatim. There is no need to say that he will never attain Parabrahma state, supreme state. So, he will never attain any fulfillment, any fulfillment of any spiritual nature, any purushartha, anything positive, he will never attain. He will not attain any happiness. He will never attain the final supreme goal. Shastram refers to Veda as well as Shastra. The main Shastra is Veda for all of us. And Shastras have been written by rishis to explain the difficult concepts hidden in the Vedas, to make the rules clear to us. Rules are there in Vedas, but they are couched in difficult language. There are apparent contradictions. So all those have been resolved by rishis out of pure compassion towards humanity. They wrote all these smritis, what are called smritis, right? From Manusmriti, Yajnavalkya Smriti, Parasara Smriti, etc., etc. There are 18 smritis which are celebrated in our Sanatana Dharma, 18 Gautama Smriti, etc. So, all those Smritis explain by giving various steps, various instructions as to how to follow the Vedic provisions. So, Shastra includes all this. So, we have to follow the rules of the Shastra, Shastra Vidhi. कर्तव्य अकर्तव्य ज्ञान कारणम विधि प्रतिषेधाख्यम उत्सृज्य. When you say Shastra Vidhim Utsrujya, Shankara explains it. You don't know what is to be done, what should not be done. Kartavya akartavya jnana karana. That you will know only when you follow the rules. Well, the rule says, do this, don't do that. If you don't follow the rules, you will do the opposite. Vidhi pratishedakham ustrujya. You have abandoned the rules regarding what should be done and what should not be done. यशास्त्र विधिमुत्सृज्य वर्तते कामकारतः न स सिद्धिमवाप्नोति न सुखं न परां गतिम्.
तस्माच्छास्त्रं प्रमाणं ते कार्याकार्यव्यवस्थितौ ज्ञात्वा शास्त्रविधानोक्तं कर्मा कर्तुमिहर्हसि.
Tasmat te shastram pramanam. For the reason which I have mentioned in the earlier shloka. What reason? If you throw out Shastra and if you take on your lap kama, desire, you will never attain siddhi, you will never attain sukha, you will never attain paramgati. Therefore, tasmat te shastram pramanam. For you, the only authority is Shastra. Do not go by what ABCD says. This is very relevant in these times because there are many people, even gurus, who will give wrong instructions. So don't follow any wrong instructions. If you want to know what is the right instruction, go to Shastra. Go to Shastrajna, one who has studied Shastras. Ask him what is to be done, what is not to be done. He will tell you what is written in the Shastras. So the only authority is Shastras. Now, कार्य व्यवस्थितौ कर्तव्य व्यवस्थायाम. Authority for what? To decide what is to be done, what is not to be done. Kartavya. If you follow that, karya vyavasthitau. To decide what is to be done, karya akarya. What is to be done, what is not to be done. in that, to decide that what is the authority. The only authority is Shastra. And that Bhagavan has made it very clear. No ifs and buts, no doubts. Tasmat, for the reason which I have mentioned in the earlier sloka, when you have to decide what is to be done and what is not to be done, karya, akarya vyavasthitau, te shastram pramanam. For you, the only authority is Shastra. Jnatva shastra vidhanoktam karma kartameharhasi. Shastra vidhana uktam jnatva. Whatever is specified in the rules of the Shastras, Shastra vidhana, uktam, whatever is specified there, jnatva, understand it properly. Don't understand it halfway. There are people who are in a hurry to understand something wrongly and then they say, yes, yes, I have gone through Shastra, I have consulted so and so. Not fully. So, jnatva, understand properly the Shastra Vidhan, the rules of the Shastra. Iha karma kartum arhasi. Do work here, iha, in this world. Karma kartum arhasi. You should do your work by following, by understanding properly the rules of the Shastras. Iha yati karmadhikara bhumi pradarshanaartham. Why he says iha? Shankara says, because you are in karma bhumi. Bhumi, particularly Bharata Desha, is karma bhumi. Whatever you do here will bear its fruit without doubt. This is not for enjoyment. This is for doing karma. Other continents are for enjoyment. That Shastra itself says. Bharata Desha is meant for karma. Other deshas are meant for enjoyment. So be here, do your karma, because this human birth is so difficult to get. You have got it. So you have got the advantage of living in Bharata Desha. So you should do your karma based on Shastras. Karma kartum iha iha. Karma adhikara bhumi pradarshanaartham. In fact, the delusion of Arjuna with which we started the whole thing, the delusion of Arjuna with which we started the whole Bhagavad Gita Upadesha was because he did not follow the Shastra. He got deluded because Shastra says clearly what a Kshatriya should do, and he knew it correctly. He was following all. Suddenly he got deluded because of Kama, Krodha, and Lobha. Kama was desire not to kill Drona, Bhima, etc. Killing them was his duty. Desire not to kill, that was Kama. So, like that, this whole Bhagavad Gita discussion starts from this. Some commentators have mentioned this. And now we will see the Niti Shastram. प्रीणाति यस्तुचरितैः पितरं सपुत्रो यद्भर्तुरेव हितमिच्छति तत्कलत्रं तन्मित्रमापदि सुखे च तमक्रियं यत् एतत्त्रयं जगति पुण्यकृतो लभन्ते पुण्यकृतः एतत् त्रयं लभन्ते जगति. Only those who have got punya to their account, they will get it, these three in this world. Because if you have followed the rule Shastra, you would have done all punya karmas. Because he said, na, tasma shastram pramanam te karya karya. So if you have followed the Shastra, you would have got punya karma to your account. And if you have punya karma to your account, these three will automatically come to you. What are those three? Prinati yastikaditehi pitaram saputraha. That son who always pleases his parents by his good conduct, sucharitehi. That son who always keeps his parents pleased by his good conduct. Yad bhartureva hitamichyati tat kalatram. So that kind of son you will get. Now that kind of wife you will get. Kalatram. Which kind of wife? Yad bhartureva hitamichyati. Her desire, only desire, eva, her only desire is the happiness not happiness. It is the good result, hitam, the good result for her husband. Bhartureva hitam. Hitam for the bharta. Hitam for the husband. What is hitam? Hitam is not priyam. Something which pleases him today, and if you tell him, that is not hitam. Something which will stand him in long term good, that is called hitam. We have seen it before. So that she will do. Tan mitramapati suketa samakriyam yat. He will get that kind of friend who will stand by him during the time of pleasure, happiness, and during the time of misery. Apadi suketa. Samakriyam, equally he will stand by you and help you. So these three, this kind of son, this kind of wife, this kind of friend. Wife means husband. In the case of women, it is husband. So these three you will get if you have punya to your account, if you have followed the Shastras. That is how Bhartrihari explains it to us. Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Karya Vyavasthitau Jnatva Shastra Vidhanoktam Karma Kartumiharhasi. This closes the chapter 16 on Daivasura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga. इति श्री महाभारते शतसाहस्र्यां संहितायां वैयासिक्यां भीष्मपर्वणि श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे दैवासुरसम्पद्विभागयोगो नाम षोडशोऽध्यायः. Now we move on to having seen Daiva Sampat and Asura Sampat in detail through one whole chapter. Now we are moving to chapter 17. Chapter 17 is Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. Just as Daiva Asura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga was there, the division between Daiva Sampat and Asura Sampat, here there is a division again among three Shraddha, Shraddha Traya. Three types of Shraddha. Three types of Shraddhas are taken up for detailed discussion. How it starts? It starts with a question by Arjuna. Arjuna Uvacha, yeah.
Arjuna Uvacha Ye Shastravidhimutsrajya Yajante Shraddhayanvitaha Tesham Nishtha Ka Krishna Sattvamaho Rajastamaha.
Because Bhagavan concluded the last chapter by quoting Shastras. He said, Shastra is the only authority for you to decide what is to be done, what is not to be done. He made it very clear. Now, this has given rise to a question in Arjuna's mind. Very intelligently, he is putting that question. He says, Ye Shastra Vidhim Utsrujya, having broken the rules of the Shastras, but Shraddhaya Anvitaha Ye Ejante. Ye Ejante, they do yagas mean pujas, etc. They do spiritual activities. With Shraddhaya Anvitaha. What is Shraddha? Shraddha is Astikya Buddhya, with full faith in Shastras. With full faith in Shastras, they do everything, but they have thrown out the rules. That is the question. Now, Shruti Smriti Shastra Chodanam Utsrijya Parityajya, having thrown away the instructions of Veda and Shastra, Shruti Smriti. Shruti Lakshanam va. Now, question is, Tesham Nishtha Ka Krishna, hey Krishna, Tesham Nishtha, their status, who has thrown out the rules of the Shastra, they are not following the rules, but they are having Shraddha. Shraddha means full faith in Shastra. Now, Shraddha is described as this way in Viveka Chodamani. That is Shankara's definition of Shraddha. What is Shraddha? शास्त्रस्य गुरुवाक्यस्य सत्यबुद्ध्यावधारणा सा श्रद्धा कथिता सद्भिः या वस्तुपलभ्यते सा श्रद्धा कथिता that is called श्रद्धा what शास्त्रस्य गुरुवाक्यस्य सत्यबुद्ध्या अवधारणा whatever shastra says whatever guru says both of them are satya buddha all always true whatever shastra says whatever guru says both are always true in this he is determined avadharana that is called shraddha that is if you are determined that what Shastra says, what Guru says, both are 100% true, Satya Buddhya. Sa Shraddha Kachita Sadvihi. Virtuous people, great people have defined Shraddha in this manner. What is the use of this Shraddha? Yaya Vastu Palabhyate. If you follow this path, if you have this Shraddha, that is, if you have full faith in what Shastra says and what Guru says, then Vastu Upalabhyate. You will get Vastu. What is Vastu here? Vastu is Paramatma Vastu. You will get Paramatma. That is how Shankara defines Shraddha. That is Shraddha. Faith in Shastra and Guru Vakya is Shraddha. In short. Now, these people have that Shraddha, but they have violated some of the rules of the Shastras. Now, what to do with them? Tesham Nishtha. What is the status? Sattvam, Aho, Rajaha, Tamaha. Aho means R. It's a question, interrogation. Sattvam, Rajas, Tamas. Their status, will you call it Sattva status, or will you call it Rajas status, or will you call it Tamas status? Because they have not followed the rules, they have Shraddha. So, they have done their yajna, they have done their puja, etc. It applies to most of us in Kali Yuga, because we are not following the rules as laid down in Shastra. But at least some Shraddha we may have, most of us. So, in fact, this question applies to most of us. So, he says, this Shraddha, their status, what will you define it as? Will it Sattva? Will it be defined as Rajas? And will it be defined as Tamas? Now, Shastra Vidham Usrijya has been defined very, very beautifully by Shankara. How did they happen to abandon the Shastras? Why did they abandon? That question he is answering. Very important. He says, Srutilakshanam, Smritilakshanam va kanchit Shastra Vidhim apashyantaha. They have not familiarized themselves with the Shastra rules. They have never seen the Shastra rules. Their non-familiarity is the reason for their not following. Vriddha Vyavahara Darshanat eva Shraddhadhanataya. Then why do they have Shraddha? Because they have seen the elders. Vriddha Vyavahara Darshanat. They have seen the elders in the family, elders around them, following a certain procedure. So they also follow the same procedure with full faith in Shastras. Because they have assumed these elders are following the Shastras, but actually they have never seen the Shastras themselves. In this bargain, they have violated the Shastras because those elders have also violated. It applies very much to the present day. Because present day there are a lot of people to misguide us. So that is what it refers to. Hey Devadin Pujayanti, so they perform pujas of Devas, etc. in this manner. They are being referred to in this class. Not those, very clearly, Shankara mentions. He punaha kanchit shastra vidhim upalabhamana eva tam ussrijya ayatha vidhim devadin pujayanti. They know shastra vidhi, they have read the shastra rules, but they have shraddha no doubt, but they don't follow. That is, they know shastras, they have shraddha, but they don't follow those rules. They are not the people who are being covered here. We are not talking about them. Na parigrishyante. Because why? Shraddhaya anvitattva vishayashanat. If you have Shraddha, you will follow the rules. You are saying you have Shraddha and you will not follow the rules. There is a contradiction, so I am not talking about you. Shankara says very clearly. Because you are not familiar with Shastra, you have violated. That is the group which we are talking about. You know all about Shastra, but you will not follow. We are not following that. We are not talking about that. That Shankara makes absolutely clear, very beautiful interpretation. So their status, whether it refers to sattva, whether it is rajas, whether it is tamas, that is the question. ये शास्त्रविधिमुत्सृज्य यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विताः तेषां निष्ठा तु का कृष्ण सत्त्वमाहो रजस्तमः. I think we stop for the day. We continue with sloka number 2, it's Bhagavan's answer. The whole chapter is answered this single question. Whole chapter divides Shraddha into 3 categories, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. And how Bhagavan does it, we will see. We will continue tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. as usual. Sunday, 7 a.m. IST as usual. Any questions?
Those who have questions, please unmute yourself, turn on your video and ask questions. Any questions, anybody?
Yeah.
Raviji, go ahead.
Namaskaram. There is a following telling that people who are in Bharatadesha, when they are not supposed to cross the ocean. Is it because of what Bhagavan is saying, that because this is a karma bhumi? Is it because of that they say that you don't cross oceans?
Well, Bhagavan has not said it. He only said Iha.
No, not Bhagavan. I mean, there is a general following.
Shastras have said that. Because he is saying, nah, you follow the Shastras.
Yeah.
Shastras are saying that, yes.
Okay. And one more small question. In this Gayatri Mantra, one of these lectures have written, Ombur Bhuva Suva. We should not say Ombur Bhuva Suvaha. Which one is correct? We should say Ombur Bhuva Suva or Ombur Bhuva Suvaha.
Suvaha is correct.
Okay.
Yeah, Suvaha is correct.
Thank you.
It may be a North Indian, because the Ha is always missed in North Indian usage. So it may be a North Indian interpretation, which is not correct. Suvaha is correct. Any other
questions?
No. So we close for the day. We meet again tomorrow, 7 a.m. IST, Sunday, as usual. Namah Parvati Pataye Har Har Mahadeva Sarvatra Govinda Ram Sankirtanam Govinda Govinda Sri Rajarajeshwari Jaya Jaya.
Thank you, Guruji.